ChatGPT now knows your bank balance. Google's AI can fill out your forms with a single tap. Microsoft's AI just autonomously found and patched 16 security vulnerabilities before you even knew they existed. And a European AI CEO is standing in front of the world warning, if you import all your digital services from the United States, you have no leverage over the United States. We are living through the fastest technology transition in human history. And right now, in the span of a single week, every single one of the world's biggest AI companies made a move. Some of those moves will make certain people extraordinarily wealthy. Some will reshape entire industries. And some people believe, could fundamentally shift who controls the future. So today, we are breaking down the AI gold rush. Who's winning, who's losing, and what is happening right now that almost nobody is talking about. Here's what we're covering today. First, ChatGPT just got access to your money, and it's only available to some people. We'll tell you exactly what that means. Second, Google just announced Gemini Intelligence, the biggest AI update to Android in years, and it's coming to your phone whether you asked for it or not. Third, a $60 billion AI chip company almost went bankrupt, burning $8 million a month. We'll tell you how it survived. Fourth, one of the most respected AI researchers on the planet just announced he's leaving Meta. And fifth, the question nobody wants to answer, is AI making everyone a straight-A student, or is it making education meaningless? Stay with us. Let's start at the beginning of this week in AI and work forward. On May 12, Google DeepMind published what may be one of the most quietly significant AI demonstrations in recent memory. According to posts from at Google DeepMind, the team is reimagining a 50-year-old interface, the mouse pointer, using AI. Their experimental demos show how users can direct Gemini on their screens using motion, speech, and natural shorthand. The key insight they shared: for decades, your mouse only tracked where you were pointing. AI helps it understand what you're pointing at. That same day, Sundar Pichai announced Gemini Intelligence, bringing what he called the best of Gemini to Android's most advanced devices. According to Sundar Pichai, users will be able to automate multi-step tasks across apps in Chrome, fill out forms in a single tap, turn spoken thoughts into polished text, and build custom widgets. The rollout begins with Samsung Galaxy and Google Pixel phones this summer, expanding to watches, cars, glasses, and laptops later this year. Moving to May 13, Satya Nadella at Microsoft revealed that the company's new multi-model agentic security system, using more than 100 specialized AI agents, topped the cyber gym industry benchmark. According to Satya Nadella, the system was used ahead of Patch Tuesday to find and fix 16 vulnerabilities. Customers can now sign up for private preview access. On that same day, Sam Altman posted that Codex, OpenAI's AI coding product, was being offered free for 2 months to any company willing to switch. According to Sama, the offer runs for 30 days and is a direct play to win enterprise coding customers from competitors. Then on May 14, OpenAI formally launched Codex in the ChatGPT mobile app. According to OpenAI, users can now start new work, review outputs, steer execution, and approve next steps all from their phone, while Codex keeps running on their laptop or desktop. Rolling out on iOS and Android across all supported regions. Also on May 14, Anthropic announced a landmark partnership with the Gates Foundation, committing $200 million in grants, cloud credits, and technical support across global health, life sciences, education, agriculture, and economic mobility. According to Anthropic AI, this represents one of the largest philanthropic AI commitments on record. But the same week that Anthropic was making headlines for philanthropy, Ars Technica was reporting that authors are now fighting for higher payouts from Anthropic's separate $1.5 billion copyright settlement. According to Ars Technica, authors are arguing the proposed payout structure does not adequately compensate them for the use of their work in training AI models. Then on May 15, Sam Altman previewed what may be the most controversial ChatGPT feature yet, a personal finance experience for pro users. According to Sama, pro subscribers in the United States can securely connect financial accounts, see where their money is going, and ask questions based on the information they choose to connect. The same day, TechCrunch reported that Greg Brockman, OpenAI's co-founder, is reportedly taking charge of product strategy at the company. According to TechCrunch, this represents a significant internal realignment at one of the world's most powerful technology companies. Finally, on May 16, Jan LeCun, one of the most decorated AI researchers in the world, a Turing Award winner, announced that his time at Meta Fair is coming to a close. According to LeCun, he joined nearly 2 years ago full-time to help advance LLM reasoning, and described it as a remarkable journey. And TechCrunch summarized the entire moment in 4 words: the haves and the have-nots of the AI gold rush. Now let's zoom out. Because taken individually, each of these announcements might seem like routine tech news. But seen together, they reveal something much bigger and much more unsettling for anyone not already inside the AI ecosystem. Let's talk about the inequality angle first. TechCrunch framed this week's AI news with a headline that cut right to the heart of the matter: the haves and the have-nots of the AI gold rush. And when you look at the details, you understand why. ChatGPT's new personal finance feature is only available to Pro subscribers in the United States. Gemini Intelligence is rolling out first to the most expensive Samsung Galaxy and Pixel devices. Codex's free trial is aimed at companies, not individuals. Even the Gates Foundation partnership, while genuinely philanthropic, is being administered by a company that just settled a $1.5 billion copyright lawsuit with authors who are now fighting for a larger share of that settlement. The second theme is power concentration. According to a report covered by Business Insider, Mistral CEO Arthur Mensch issued what may be the starkest warning of the week, quote, "In a world where you import all your digital services from the United States, you have no leverage over the United States." This is not an abstract concern. The International Energy Agency published data this week showing that global electricity consumption from data centers surged in 2025, driven almost entirely by AI demand, and that demand is set to nearly double by 2030. For AI-specific facilities, power use is expected to triple over the same period. Now consider that the companies building those facilities, OpenAI, Google, Microsoft, Anthropic, are all American. And consider that Gary Tan, head of Y Combinator, argued this week that opposition to data center construction is irrational, comparing critics to people opposing a nuclear plant with zero radioactive risk. Some analysts would push back on that framing, suggesting that questions about water use, land use, and power grid priority are legitimate public policy questions, not irrational fears. The third theme, and perhaps the most provocative, is what AI is doing to human expertise. Axios reported this week that some college classes are seeing a boom in students earning A grades, many with the help of AI. And in the same week, AR14, the premier academic research repository, announced it will ban authors for a full year if AI does all the work in a submitted paper. The question hanging over all of this: if AI can write the paper and get the A, what exactly are we measuring? And who benefits from the answer? Is it safe to connect my bank account to ChatGPT? OpenAI describes the connection as secure and user-controlled, meaning users choose what data to share. However, exact figures on data retention, third-party access, and breach liability have not yet been publicly confirmed. Some security analysts may suggest users wait for independent audits before connecting sensitive financial data. Does Jan LeCun's departure from Meta signal something bigger about the state of AI research? This may suggest growing tension between academic AI researchers and the product-focused demands of large technology companies. Some analysts believe the departure of foundational researchers like LeCun could signal a broader shift in where cutting-edge AI work actually happens, potentially towards smaller, more focused labs or independent institutions. The AI gold rush is not happening equally around the world, and this week made that clearer than ever. In the United States, the race is internal, between OpenAI, Google, Microsoft, and Anthropic, each making multi-billion-dollar moves in the span of days. For American consumers, the near-term impact is a flood of new AI features arriving on their phones, in their financial apps, and in their code editors. But that access is stratified. The Pro subscription tier, the latest flagship device, the enterprise software contract, these are the gates through which AI's most powerful capabilities currently flow. In Europe, the story is one of sovereign anxiety. Mistral, the French AI company that has positioned itself as Europe's answer to American AI dominance, had its CEO issue a stark geopolitical warning this week. According to Business Insider, Arthur Mensch argued that digital dependency on American services removes any political leverage a country or bloc might otherwise hold. This resonates particularly in the European Union, which has been developing its own AI regulatory framework. The concern is that by the time European regulation catches up, European infrastructure may already be locked into American AI systems. In Asia, the picture is mixed. India made a historic move this week with Tata Electronics and ASML announcing a partnership on India's first semiconductor fabrication facility, a foundational step toward building domestic AI hardware capacity. Meanwhile, China's position in global AI remains contested. The SMILE spacecraft mission, a European and Chinese collaboration launching Tuesday to study solar storms, is a reminder that scientific cooperation continues even as geopolitical competition intensifies. In the developing world, the Anthropic Gates Foundation partnership could represent a meaningful intervention, funding AI applications in global health, education, and agriculture. But as at Ars Technica reported, the authors whose work trained these AI systems are fighting for fair compensation from those same companies. The irony of AI philanthropy funded by AI that may have been built on uncompensated creative labor is not lost on critics. And across all regions, the energy question is the great equalizer. The IEA's data is unambiguous: AI is already straining power grids, and that strain will only intensify. For countries and communities that cannot afford to build new energy capacity to fuel AI data centers, the digital divide may not just be about access to devices, it may soon be about access to electricity itself. Now, in the spirit of giving every side a fair hearing, and this story has several sides, let's steelman the optimistic case. The argument from the AI industry and its supporters goes something like this: every major technology transition in history, electricity, the internet, the smartphone, looked chaotic and unequal in its early years. The haves got it first, then the have-nots caught up, and everyone was better off for it. The Gates Foundation partnership, the Codex free trial, the Android rollout, these are not cynical moves. They represent real attempts to democratize access to tools that could help a student in Lagos understand a medical diagnosis, help a farmer in Maharashtra optimize a crop yield, or help a small business owner in Detroit compete with a Fortune 500 company. On the energy question, Gary Tan argued this week that opposition to data center construction is misplaced, that these facilities, at least the ones being built responsibly, bring their own power and do not burden local taxpayers. On the education question, some educators argue that the rise of AI-assisted grades is not a crisis of integrity but an opportunity to redesign assessment entirely, to move from measuring rote reproduction toward measuring judgment, creativity, and collaboration. And on the copyright question, Anthropic did settle. A $1.5 billion settlement is not nothing. The debate over how that money is distributed is a legal and procedural question, not evidence of bad faith. These are legitimate arguments. And they deserve to be part of the conversation. Yann LeCun, the man who helped invent the deep learning that powers all of these products, just walked away from one of the largest AI research labs in the world. We don't yet know where he's going. But in an industry that measures progress in months, that may be the most significant headline of the week. Drop your answer in the comments right now. Should ChatGPT have access to your bank account? Yes or no, and tell us why. And if you're not subscribed yet, hit that button. We cover the stories behind the headlines every week.